we're going to do today. Today we are going to go to the Nürburgring with the Ferrari 488. We're going to do a sprint race weekend and we're going to do the first two practice lengths. All right, 95% opponent skill. I don't care. I just want some cars around. We'll see about that. Hopefully the frame rate will be decent because, as I said, right now it's the first time I'm streaming with the NVIDIA experience, so bear with me. So in realism, I have damage rate at 100% because I want to enable flat spots if there are any, because it's linked to the damage rate. Pure fuel consumption, of course, enabled. Tire sets limited, and this is important. It adds obviously to the immersion and to the realism of everything, but it will also help us to make a better some better solutions in the setup with that in mind. All right, so here we are. So normally you could start from the safe setup, but we will start from the aggressive setup. Why I've chosen the Nürburgring and the Ferrari? Because probably 1st of February we're going to do a long 6 hours race with driver changes. Me and my colleagues, buddies, Kevin and Gergo from Kunos. And it's going to be probably a Nürburgring or Monza or Bathurst, depends. But, we have to get ready about that. Probably I will stream it. It's going to be fun. And also I need some kind of practice, so because, every day you are driving, but you're not pushing yourself. You're just trying to understand how the car feels, if the data is correct and stuff like that. Anyway. Right, so aggressive preset. And the first thing to do is, as I said, get a habit of the car, get a habit of the circuit, and check the tire pressures, which is the first thing you have to do. Check the tire pressures. So here we go. If Bathurst is out. If it's not, we're gonna run or Nürburgring or Monza, something like that. I have no idea about that, so don't ask me. It depends how we finish. No, I don't know honestly. Okay, so I click on drive and the time goes on, so we have 1 hour, and if we are still fresh enough, we're gonna have also the second, so at least 2 hours of practice. All right, let's go. Hope the frame rate is decent, and let's do it. Oops. I hate it when this happens. Okay. So normally the AI goes slowly when it comes out of the pit, so I will just dive bomb him here and go out and get some fresh air. Right. I hope the sound volumes are good also from the simulator, so you can hear the engine and everything. So one thing you could do here is, even though you have the aggressive setup, and normally the ABS is at 3, for those first laps you could put the ABS at 6, because I don't want to flat spot the tires on some strange braking points, since I'm still getting the habit of the car and the circuit. So crank your ABS at 6, you're a little bit safer. So again, we're gonna do at least 3 laps here, and the first thing that you have to know is that the tires, the Pirelli slick tires, give you maximum grip. Give you maximum grip for the first 3 or 4 laps. All right. After that, they have a sudden drop, and they go down in grip not too much, but enough, and then they stabilize and start wear gradually but slowly. So the first 2 or 3 laps are, you have plenty of grip, which right now it's not important for us, but it is important to remind that after 2 or 3 laps in this track, we're gonna have a tire degradation that is, you know, you can feel it, all right? And it is important because depending on which tires are going down first, usually the rear ones, your car will be for a lap or two very oversteery, and you have to wait another lap or two, as I said, so that the front tires also wear down, and then you have both of them out of this window of high grip, and the car balances itself out again. Alright, so we're doing some laps, nothing too important right now, but it is important to understand, you know, the all the various reference points. So braking, turning in like this, acceleration, all that stuff, it's stuff that you really have to, you know, and you really have to be careful about. You really need to hit them one after another. So this is our second lap out of the pits. We're gonna have a terrible lap time, probably something around, I don't know, 58, 57, something like that. We don't care about that right now. We're just going to do some decent laps, maybe another one. Yeah, 58.7, it's very, very low, but we don't care. Oh, it's a very, very long braking point. No, getting a little bit better here. Usually you need to go a little bit more inside here. No, not today. We're not going to use motor today. We're still, you know, trying to figure out the basics. I want you guys to understand how to, you know, understand the normal things of the car and try to correct it. So let's start talking about what we feel with the car right now. The car is pretty neutral, doesn't do strange things, it doesn't want to kill me, which is positive. But I have some understeer. I have some understeer both in entry, even though I'm braking a little bit too late, and I have some understeer also at the exit. It's not too much of an understeer, but it's there. I would like the front end to bite a little bit better than what it does right now. On the other hand, the car is very safe and very stable at the rear right now, so that's pretty good. But you can see that I have some issues to exit the turn or to point it exactly where I want to. Well, yes, as you said, the motor will be a great topic, but first, you know, we have to cover the basics. I know that some of you guys are way ahead on that stuff, so, but, you know, let's stick to the basics. So again, some understeer that I can cure with some power oversteer, but it's not exactly what I want. So 3 laps. I'm gonna do the first lap and I'm going into the pits at the first lap. It doesn't matter if I'm faster, because I will keep pushing. You know, this was a better first turn, for example, and I can see that on my delta that now I'm pushing a little bit. I'm getting the hang of it. Okay, release the brakes here, tuck the in like this. So I'm still gaining lap time and so on. Some space, alright, between the mic. I hear you. And here like this, on this second kick of this turn, I have to accelerate. See, I had some understeer here. I'm trying to fix it, but car doesn't do exactly what I want. So you can see I'm still gaining lots of time, which means my driving style is still not correct. So it's nothing to do with the setup, all has to do with the driving style yet. And this is always the case. I mean, the setup will help you feel more comfortable with the car, but the main lap time comes from your driving. The main problem, you know, between the car and the steering wheel is the guy sitting in the middle. Always that. So you see, I was already at 0.6 of a second faster, but we don't care. We go into the pits. I've done 3 laps. This will also learn you where to brake for the pits, so you can, you know, activate the limiter, which in this case was, in this case was the orange guardrail. So as I'm going into the pits, I can see my PSI going down by 2 or 3, 0.2 or 0.3 PSI. So that to keep in mind. You see, I'm doing everything realistic. Right, so hit ESC and go to the garage. Very good. Setup, current setup. And let's see at our pressures. This is the first thing you have to do. So the first thing is you go in, you do 3 laps, 4 laps, then you go into the car, into the setup, and you check your pressures. So the pressures right now are a little bit on the low side. They seem quite symmetrical, except at the rear, which is good, you know. So let's raise it a little bit. It's 26.5. I would like this to be at least 1 psi more. So let's go by 1 psi more here. 26.3. And again, 25.8, 26.8. Right. So here we have 26.3, so we get the 25.1 and we go 26.1. I can add something, but I'll wait for it. 25.3, and here we have 25.5, so here I need 2 psi more to get to the 27s. So 25.5, 26.5, 27.5. I want it to be lower by 0.2 because I want to be symmetrical to the left one. So 0.2 down, 1, 2, and that should give me, you know, a good situation. Now, this is about the pressures. Normally, if you're not if you're not sure about that, guys, don't hurry. Let's not talk about the diff right now. We'll be talking about the diff later on this same practice, but later. One thing at a time. It's very important. One thing at a time. At the end of all of that, I will also show you a case study of a guy that had issues with the setup. So stick with me, right? So first thing, pressures. Second thing, as I told you, I had the car lightly understeery. Understeery in the turn-in and understeery at the exit. So I would like that to be a little less understeery than that. So what we do next, we go to the aero. Okay. So the aero, as I told you, you modify the ride heights and you get big differences in the car. The biggest difference is at the front. I cannot lower the front because I'm already at the limit of the rules for this car, so I'm already down. But if I could, in that case I wouldn't do it because the front always gives you a big difference, you know, in balance. On the contrary, the rear gives you quite a difference, but a little bit less. So it's more, I would not say it's fine-tuning, but it's less difference than the front one. So in this case, anyway, I can do much to lower the front to get more front balance. So I will raise the rear by 1 click. Just 1 click. That's all. So we did the tire pressures and we raised the rear by just 1 click. Let's go back again. All right. Yes, PSI pressure drops during the pit entrance. We know that it drops by around 0.3 psi, 0.3 psi. This we will calculate it again at the second run. So let's go in.